Hey, welcome to Top System Players Hub. This is your friend Nathaniel. I am, and this is January 2025 Strategic Thinking and Planning session. Today, we shall be looking at some Nigerian organizations and businesses and how they apply the principle of strategic thinking and their experiences. So, the first on our list today we shall be looking at is the educational industry. And the school we shall be using as an example today, which succeeded by its application of strategic thinking and planning, is the Covenant University. All right, the Covenant University, which was founded by Dr. David Oyedepo, has been constantly ranked among the top universities in Nigeria just in a few years of its inception. So, what's so unique about the Covenant University? Our emphasis here basically is not to advertise the school, all right, like you may think, but our emphasis is to help us see how possible it is for an organization to apply the principle of strategic thinking and planning and scale in just a few years. That's so possible. Why? Because if Covenant University could achieve it, then any other university, any other school, any other business, any other organization can achieve it, including yours. So, how did Covenant University achieve success through strategic thinking and planning? While listening to the founder of the university, Dr. David Oyedepo, precisely in one of his podcasts a few years back, one of the things I got to learn from the man is his passion for thinking. In fact, I also learned that this man works 18 hours each day. And part of these 18 hours are usually used for thinking. In fact, in addition to that, also got to know that in his home, he has a special room called the thinking room. The thinking room. Now, this automatically tells us about his passion for thinking and planning. And if you look at a lot of his organizations, church organizations, and other businesses he runs, you would realize that the rate of success in these organizations automatically tells us that strategic thinking and planning is given a priority in these organizations. So, if Covenant University has been able to succeed through strategic thinking and planning, our emphasis is that your organization can achieve that. Your organization can achieve the same. So, how did Covenant University achieve success through strategic thinking and planning? Now, if you're a good follower of the man, Dr. David Oyedepo, one thing you would realize is that most of the organizations he leads here in Nigeria are always on the top profile. Just take your time, make your research. You would realize that all of the organizations he leads in Nigeria are always on the top profile when it comes to ranking in Nigeria. You do your findings. And one of the ways the Covenant University has been able to achieve this is because the founder, from the onset, through strategic thinking, understudied several historic universities before starting it. It takes a strategic thinker and planner to understudy histories of the organizations that have existed in the industry he or she is about going in before starting. We live in a nation here in Nigeria where people hardly study history, where people hardly study the stories of the pre-existing before starting out anything. But this man, through strategic thinking and planning, he engaged with the history of diverse universities internationally and locally before starting out the university. And so you need to ask yourself, What have you studied about the industry you are going in? If you run the school today, strategic thinking demands you going ahead to understudy other organizations which have existed in your educational industry. Until you have studied that, you are not ready to make a difference. You're not ready to succeed. And this was exactly why the Covenant University has been able to thrive in its short period of existence. Strategic thinking and planning. Strategic thinking and planning. Having listened to the story of the Covenant University and its founder, Dr. David Oyedepo, you now need to ask yourself, what's your organization doing right now to grow? What's your organization doing right now to become better? What's your organization doing right now in order to be mentioned when names of organizations are mentioned in its time, just as Covenant University is being mentioned? Now, there are other universities that are doing so well, but we just chose Covenant University as our example today. Thank you so much. I hope the success story of Covenant University has inspired you. So go on and make a difference with that your little school. Whether you're running a crèche, you're running a nursery school, a primary school, a secondary school, a university. It doesn't matter what you are running. It doesn't matter how small you have started. With strategic thinking and planning, you will do extremely well.